So, Arsenal are back in Premier League action, fresh off of the back of a 3-1 victory against Valencia in the Europa League semi-final. Now, Unai Emery has done his press conference for this game, and it's a bit of a weird one actually, because obviously Brighton could be safe by the time they play us. Cardiff are playing today. If they don't win, they are relegated back to the Championship, and Brighton would therefore be safe. They'd be on the beach, you would think. We all witnessed them play against Tottenham a couple of weeks ago, and they put up a defensive masterclass until Christian Eriksen pinged in an 88th minute. Good goal, to be fair, very good goal. 88th minute strike from about 25 yards out. So I'm not quite sure what type of Brighton side's going to come to the Emirates. I can't see Cardiff winning, so I think Cardiff will be relegated. Does that mean the Brighton players will come and play with a bit more freedom rather than parking the bus? Who knows? But before I get into the actual press conference itself and what was said and what was replied, don't forget, stick a massive thumbs up on the video. Big up everyone who's subscribed so far. Don't forget you can go and check out my transfer update. That came out 7 o'clock this morning, so if you haven't seen that, feel free to go and check that out. And don't also forget my preview for the Brighton game will be out at 9 o'clock tonight. So let's get into the press conference itself. Unai Emery was asked whether we need to win both of our games. He said the next match is important. Obviously, we are going to play the last home match. Of course, it is our last home match as well, so there will be a lap of appreciation at the end of that. Obviously, as well, it's Petr Cech's last home game ever for Arsenal Football Club. Aaron Ramsey as well. Obviously, we know Ramsey's injured. So, yeah, he's not going to play any part in the actual match itself. We're not even sure whether Petr Cech's going to play any part. But, so yeah, there's a few little scenarios in the back burner there. The first objective is to finish top four, Unai Emery says. And I think that was his objective given to him by the board at the start of the season. He was then asked whether Petr Cech would play or play any part. He said, we will decide tomorrow, but we need to win the match regardless. On what it would mean to finish top four, I think that we need to be very demanding of ourselves, but sometimes we need to be calm in the right situations. We want to be in the Champions League. That is our first objective. And we have a possibility to do it in two different ways. We are fighting for the top four. We are with Tottenham, Chelsea and Man United. Tottenham and Chelsea have a slight advantage over us. To be honest, I think Tottenham are already there. I know that when I'm recording this, they are literally 4 minutes into a game. I haven't seen it because I've been recording for 3 minutes already. So yeah, they are playing Bournemouth away. To be honest, yes, it's mathematically possible they could finish outside of the top four. Personally, I think Tottenham have secured top four. So it's out of the rest of us from there on in. On whether he's been happy with the process so far, he was asked, yes, I'm happy. When we started the season, we lost to Man City and Chelsea, and we worked harder little by little. And now we are very close to qualifying for Champions League with the two opportunities we have. He was asked whether we deserve to finish top four. That is a great question, by the way. Personally, I don't think we do. We've lost more games than Man United. We've lost more games than Chelsea. Funny enough, we've actually lost less than Tottenham. All three of us have, us, Chelsea and Man United. But Tottenham have only drawn one game. So they either win or they lose. Whereas we've lost 10 games in the league this season. I don't think that's good enough to qualify for top four. It shouldn't be anyway. But the fact that us, Chelsea and Man United keep bottling it is why we've still got a chance. So he was asked, he said, if I can find it, do you deserve top four? We are just trying to win our next game. Yeah, probably the best thing you could have said, mate. Will it be a setback? This is a good question. Will it be a setback if you do not qualify for the Champions League? Me again, personally, I don't think it will be a setback. I personally don't think we're ready for Champions League. I don't think that we've got the squad good enough to go and compete in that tournament. I don't think we've got the squad good enough to... We might get out of a group stage, but then what? We're just round to 16 again. Well, we've done that for 20 years. So, you know, I want to compete for it if we're in it. Yes, I know on the flip side of that, it's nice to have the extra revenue stream. But I was looking into this the other day and I was having a debate on Twitter about it. If you go and win the Europa League, obviously that qualifies you for Champions League. But winning the Europa League is the same amount of money there or thereabouts as getting a round of 16 of Champions League. So would you rather have the trophy or would you rather just get round of 16 and get knocked out again? Because for me, I'd rather win the Europa League. And I know that qualifies you before any smart aleck comes up with that. But trophies all day long. That's how I see it. He was asked how Brighton would approach the game. I think I've already gone into that anyway. He basically says they're a good team, a very good coach. And I agree with that. I think their manager's pretty decent, to be fair. The fact he's going to keep them up if Cardiff lose is a testament to him as well. But I think I've already gone into that. He was then asked if he'd prefer Brighton to have nothing to play for. Well, again, I've sort of covered that. He said we played against Crystal Palace, who was safe, and look at what happened there. Fair comment that. And let's be real, if we'd beaten Crystal Palace, or even beaten Wolves, or even beaten Leicester, we'd be top four. I'd have no questions of a doubt we would have finished top four if we'd beaten one of them three teams. But we didn't, and that is what winds me up with this football club, is the fact that these players go out there, play like absolute clowns for 3 games, then they go out there against Valencia when the game actually means something big, and they put in a good performance. So why didn't you just do that in one of them 3 games? We'd already be safe, the pressure would be off, we'd go and take Brighton apart, and then hopefully we'd go and do Burnley. We'd qualify regardless. That takes the pressure off of going into a final, so the players could go out and play with freedom. And the worst case scenario would be that Chelsea get top 4, and then Chelsea beat us in a final if we both get there, because then we're back in the Europa League. And I know, you know, in terms of money, yeah, I get it, but I don't think we're ready for Champions League, and that's just me speaking with my heart. I just genuinely do not think we're ready. I don't want to see us on the end of 10-2s again and stuff like that. I think maybe one more year in the Europa, I don't know. But with that being said, I hope we win it. The psychological aspect of losing 3 in a row, he was asked about. Mindset is very important in our process. We have to create a big mentality and a winning mentality. I think we can be proud of our ways sometimes, and sometimes it is difficult to come back in these moments. But we proved in the game against Valencia that we have a strong mentality. And that's true, we did actually, because we were 1-0 down in that game, and the fans, it was very easy to turn, especially after seeing 3 embarrassing defeats, conceding 9 goals in them 3 games, and then within 10 minutes in the biggest game of our season, we're all over the place and we're 1-0 down to a good team. So they have got some sort of mentality about them. They have got something up here where they go, nah. And Lacazette was the front runner in that. He was telling people, listen, think, it's a Europa League semi. What are you doing? Calm down. And then he took it upon himself to go and single-handedly drive us forward. So we have got players in this squad that can do that. How important have Lacazette and Aubameyang been? Their performances and their behaviour have been superb, and their commitment. I am happy that they are both together and sharing that together. Yeah, to be honest, they've got a proper bromance going on, so fair play to them. And they're single-handedly trying to get us that Europa League, let's be real. Are they better playing together up front or as one up front? It depends. Sometimes they can play in a one. It depends on each game, each tactical idea and the team we're playing against. And I'm glad he said that, because other years gone by with the previous manager, it was like, that's the 11, that's how we're playing, we're not going to change it, we're not going to mix it up, we're just going to play our way. And I do like the fact that the manager this time round does look at individual teams and go, right, this is their weakness, that's their strong point, we're going to do this to compensate that. Sometimes I think he goes a little bit overboard, 2 or 3 formation changes in a game, changes formation and personnel pretty much every week. But I do get it, and I genuinely don't think that he knows his best 11. Even a year down the road nearly, I don't think he knows his best 11. And that is basically because our squad are so flimsy at times and so weak, and there's too many players in that squad that shouldn't be here. They should not be at Arsenal Football Club. So he's had to work. Plus he's had major injuries. Rob Holding, Bellerin, Welbeck. Welbeck's another one, by the way. His contract's expiring in June, so he's another one who's possibly played his last game for Arsenal as well. So, yeah, tomorrow proves to be a big day. The lap of appreciation, players that have come to an end of their era, i.e. Czech, players that have come to the end of their Arsenal era, Ramsey and Welbeck. Interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But don't forget, subscribe, like and share. Leave your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know your thoughts on the game. So yeah, I'll be back with my preview for the game at 9 o'clock this evening. Until then, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.